Namaste and welcome to Sutra Network, your trusted link to news, views, and stories that matter. Here we'll untangle the threads of today's biggest headlines and deeper issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has begun a two-day visit to Japan on August 29 to 30th to attend the 15th Indian-Japan Annual Summit, marking a key moment in the country's special strategic and global partnership. His talks with Japanese PM Shigeru Ishiba will focus on defense cooperations, regional security, and advancing technologies, while reaffirming the shared goal of a free and open Indo-Pacific amid global uncertainty, including the fallout from the US trade war. Economics is the heart of this visit, with both sides pushing for stronger collaboration in infrastructure, digital innovation, green energy, and supply chain resilience. Japan has already been a major partner in India's growth story, most visibly through the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project. The leaders are expected to explore fresh opportunities for trade, investments, and deeper integration in critical sectors. Alongside politics and economics, Modi's visit highlights cultural diplomacy. India and Japan's shared Buddhist heritage and people-to-people ties remain vital. With the Prime Minister set to meet the Indian diaspora in Japan, this visit strengthens India's position as a proactive player in Asia's changing power dynamics. The partnership with Japan is not just about economics or defense, it is about shaping a more stable and balanced regional order where democratic values and cultural bonds play as important a role as strategy and trade.
भारत जापान पार्टनरशिप की औद्योगिक संभावनाओं को साकार करने की बड़ी पहल यही गुजरात में हुई थी। मुझे याद है हमने 20 साल पहले जब वाइब्रेंट गुजरात समिट शुरू की थी तो उसमें जापान एक प्रमुख सहयोगी था। आप विचार कीजिए, एक डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज का एक छोटा सा स्टेट, उसका इन्वेस्टमेंट समिट और जापान जैसा डेवलप कंट्री उसका पार्टनर हो।
The US has scrapped its long-standing $800 de minimis duty-free threshold effective August 29, 2025. Now, all foreign parcels will face tariffs. To ease the transition, a 6-month flat fee of $80 and $200 per package has been introduced before this regular duty system kicks in. The move aims to curb smuggling and counterfeits but has already disrupted global postal services and increased shipping costs. For US consumers, the change means higher prices and slower deliveries, especially for goods from overseas sellers. Smaller businesses on platforms like Etsy, eBay, and Shopify are unlikely to absorb costs, pushing expenses onto customers. Some international sellers may even withdraw from the American market, making online bargain shopping less attractive. The developing comes amid Trump's renewed tariff war. On July 31st, Washington reimposed a 25% tariff on Indian goods, plus another 25% on exports linked to India's Russian oil purchases, raising the total tariff burden to 50%. In response, PM Narendra Modi called for economic self-reliance, urging citizens and shopkeepers to embrace Swadeshi products, a message he reiterated during his Japan visit. RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has clarified that his recent remarks on retiring at 75 were not aimed at Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Speaking at an RSS centenary press conference in Delhi, Bhagwat said he was only quoting a humorous comment by senior Sangh leader Moropant Pingle, who joked that receiving a ceremonial shawl at 75 signals retirement. I never said I'll or someone else should retire, he stressed. The clarification followed speculation since both Bhagwat and Modi shares the milestone this year. Bhagwat dismissed suggestions about his own retirement, noting that several others are capable of leading the sun. We are ready to retire anytime and ready to work as long as sun wants, he said. His remarks had drawn reactions from the Congress, with Jairam Ramesh quipping it was one arrow, two targets. Bhagwat also denied that the RSS decides BJP leadership choices, saying both organizations may differ at times but have same objectives. A cloudburst in Uttarakhand's Tahri Garhwal district late Thursday night triggered heavy rainfall in Janmali Telangana, causing the Alaknanda and Mandakini rivers to swell dangerously, threatening settlements along their banks. While no casualties have been reported, there has been damage to public and private property. Authorities in Rudraprayag and Chamoli have issued alerts, with police and disaster management teams urging people to stay away from river banks and move to safer areas as continuous rain keeps river levels rising. Dubai Princess Sheikha Mahara, daughter of UAE Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, is officially engaged to Moroccan-American rapper French Montana TMZ confirmed. The couple formalized their relationship during Paris Fashion Week in June 2025 after being linked since late 2024 and spotted together in Dubai, Morocco, and Paris. Wedding plans are reportedly underway, with venues being considered in the Middle East and Europe. Mahara first made headlines in July 2025 when she divorced Sheikh Mana bin Mohammed bin Rashid bin Mana Al Maktoum on Instagram, accusing him of infidelity just 2 months after giving birth to their daughter. She later launched a bold fragrance line titled Divorce, marketed as a symbol of empowerment and independence, reflecting her shift from royal tradition to modern entrepreneurship. Her engagement comes amid heavy global buzz, drawing parallels to other celebrity high-profile unions and positioning her as a progressive Gulf royal balancing heritage with modern identity. Noah Lyles stormed to victory in the men's 200-meter at the Diamond League finals in Zurich, clocking 19.74 seconds to beat Latsil Tibeko and claim a record 6th Diamond League trophy. The Olympic 100-meter champion said the win gives him a lot of energy ahead of the World Championships in Tokyo. In the women's 100-meter, Julian Alfred triumphed in 10.76 seconds over Jamaica's Tia Clayton, calling it the perfect boost before Tokyo. The night saw 26 Diamond League champions crowned. Highlights included Emmanuel Famble and Karsten Warholm. American Cordell Tinge equaled a meet record, while Jamaica's Accra Nugent impressed on the women's side. Other standout performances were Christian Coleman, Brittany Brown, Salva E. Nasser, and Jacari Pedersen. In the field, Germany's Julian Weber unleashed a world-leading 91.5-meter javelin throw, with India's Neeraj Chopra finishing third. The group of ministers on GST rate rationalization is set to recommend a major overhaul of the tax structure, reducing the current 4 slabs to just 2, 5% and 18%, along with a 0% slab for essentials. A new 40% slab will be introduced for luxury and sin goods like tobacco and sugary drinks. The move comes amid global economic turbulence and the impact of the US tariff war on India. Under the proposal, several goods currently taxed at higher rates will see steep cuts. Cement and automobile parts may drop from 28% to 18%, while textiles, fertilizers, medicines, footwear, soaps, shampoos, and education-related products could fall to 5% or even 0%. Tractors, tires, defense equipment, and hotel stays under 7,500 rupees will also benefit with lower rates. On the flip side, casino services will see a hike from 28% to 40% GST. The last total lunar eclipse of 2025 will occur on the night of September 7th and 8th, turning the moon a deep red for 82 minutes, known as blood moon. The spectacle happens when Earth passes directly between the sun and the full moon. This will be the year's second and final total lunar eclipse, lasting over 5 hours in total. The red color is caused by Rayleigh scattering, where Earth's atmosphere bends sunlight and filters out blue wavelengths. According to NASA, dust clouds of volcanic ash can deepen the shade of red. The eclipse will be visible to about 77% of the world's population, including Asia, Australia, Africa, and Europe. Though the best views will be in Asia and Western Australia, the event will not be visible in the US as the moon will set before the eclipse begins there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Japan visit underscores the depth of the India-Japan partnership as New Delhi balances ties with Beijing by running his first summit with PM Shigeru Ishiba. But skipping China's September 3rd military parade, Modi signals sensitivity to Japanese concerns while still heading to the SCO summit. Both sides are set to announce cooperation in semiconductors, AI, defense, space, and critical minerals, alongside Japan's central role in India's bullet train project. Japan remained vital for India's fast growth with over $43 billion invested since 2000 and nearly 1,400 Japanese firms operating locally. Trade reached $22.85 billion in 2023 to 24, while fresh bets like Suzuki's $8 billion EV push highlight Tokyo's long-term commitment. With China still unpredictable, Japan's consistent support makes the partnership indispensable for India's economic and strategic future. Siddharth Malhotra in Family Starter promises to fool the audience with a light-hearted rom-com. Siddharth Malhotra and Janhvi Kapoor's much-awaited rom-com Param Sundari releases in theaters today, that is 29th August. Directed by Tushar Jalota and produced by Dinesh Vijan's Maddox Films. The light-hearted entertainer explores a North meets South theme and marks the first on-screen pairing of Siddharth and Janhvi, whose chemistry has already impressed fans through promos and songs. The film tracks, especially Pardesia and Deja, are topping charts ahead of release, adding to the buzz. With a strong supporting cast including Randy Panikar, Manjot Singh and Sanjay Kapoor, Param Sundari follows Maddox's successful run after hits like Stree 2 and Chhawa. All eyes are now on whether this rom-com can repeat that box office magic. In the second survey of the Hyderabad Bird Atlas 2025, 5 bird species, rock pigeon, red-banded bulbul, Asheprania, spotted duck and purple sunbird were found to be the most widely distributed across the city, thriving in parks, gardens, farmlands and urban spaces due to their adaptability. Ornithologist Ashish Pitti explained that pigeons survive on human grain offerings and nesting spaces in the buildings. Bulbuls feed on fruits, nectar and lantana berries, thus adapt despite competition from pigeons. Prinias thrives on insects and garbage, and sunbirds flourish on nectar and urban greenery. However, many other species such as partridges, quails, larks, pipits and winter ducks have declined due to shrinking habitats and urban sprawl. रामायण क्लब में हमारा मानना है कि आपकी आध्यात्मिक यात्रा उतनी ही सार्थक होनी चाहिए जितनी कि उसकी मंजिल। 10 सालों से भी अधिक समय से हम श्रद्धालुओं को भारत के सबसे पवित्र स्थलों जिनमें अयोध्या, काशी, मथुरा शामिल हैं, इन सब से जोड़ते हैं। रामायण और अन्य प्राचीन ग्रंथों से प्रेरित हमारे विशेषज्ञ मार्गदर्शक एक प्रामाणिक और गहन संतुष्टिदायक अनुभव सुनिश्चित करते हैं। हमने 120 से अधिक गंतव्यों की 500 से अधिक तीर्थ यात्राओं में 15,000 से अधिक प्रसन्न श्रद्धालुओं का सफलतापूर्वक मार्गदर्शन किया है, जिससे आपकी यात्रा आरामदायक, किफायती और आध्यात्मिकता से भरपूर बने। हमारी तेज, विश्वसनीय और किफायती यात्राओं के साथ आपका एकमात्र ध्यान आपकी भक्ति पर है। रामायण क्लब को अपनी तीर्थ यात्रा को एक यादगार अनुभव बनाने का मौका दें। अधिक जानकारी के लिए हमारी वेबसाइट पर क्लिक करें।